Up my PC. So those of you out on the live stream, hi. Got a bunch of people here in the temple. You guys here in the temple, I guess you won't see the live stream, but I'll try and share what is said with people in the temple and people on the live stream. So it's great to have everybody here. And let's just start by setting our intention. We'll just meditate on what we're focusing on here, what we are intending to do, to think about, to feel. So I'm going to close my eyes and take a deep breath. Clear some space in my mind, in my feelings, to focus on what I'm intending. I want to make a great experience for all of us. And I hope you feel that too. We'll be kind, we'll be encouraging, we'll be friendly. There are changes in perspective that can bring people so much peace and happiness and strength. I'm intending to point at these epiphanies as much as I can, as convincingly, as powerfully as I can. And I hope you set the intention that you're open to big change, for shifts in perspective, to shifts in how you think. Some of these changes can happen instantaneously and powerfully, and some of them require work and practice. So I hope we're also all setting the intention that we're going to motivate ourselves. We're going to make habits to take time each day to be mindful, to be happy, to be kind. And as you consider that, I hope you get excited or inspired or profound or beautiful. Imagine mindfulness just growing and growing and growing. Imagine a you that is just so much more empowered, a you that is so much more peaceful, able to handle anything, a you that is more understanding, it's more confident, it's more kind. So let's just take a bit of time to feel into your intention for today. So I asked some people what topic they'd like to have this week, and someone mentioned about close family and friendship and a feeling of coming home. And so we're going to explore that topic. Yes, we can talk about this community, friends here on the live stream, friends in the temple that we see often. I hope, as well as you hanging out here in the temple, that this positive community, you stay friends with each other, hang out in VR chat, or some of us had a call on Discord, just live streaming to each other, meditating, inspiring each other, talking about our lives. So yeah, we're going to explore community. We're also going to talk about family and friends, the people that you spend time with, the people you make close in your life. I mentioned in the intention setting that I hope to share epiphanies with you. I hope to take you to the place where it transforms you. And I was thinking, I also want to be open to be inspired by each of you. I want to hear the things that have really driven you or helped you. I hope you can share something with me that makes my state of mind so much better, or a perspective that helps me every day. I'm hoping to share that with you, and I hope you're also trying to share that with me and with each other. So yeah, I'm very much inspired by the idea that our friends and our community will be the people that bring out the best in us. And that as everybody does that, the world gets better and better. So there's our theme for the day. I think we're going to dive into our opening meditation, unless anyone has any questions or comments before we begin. Cool. And if you're out there on the live stream, I hope that I'll be able to see you in real time, anything you have to say. So I hope you also feel like you're here with the rest of us. All right. So given that today's topic is around caring, friendship, family, I think we're going to do a compassion meditation. So I invite everyone to get comfortable. I'm inspired to put my hands on my heart. That feels sweet and caring to me. If that feels nice for you, you might want to do it too. Or you put your hands on your legs or in your lap. And now that you're aware of your hands and your arms, you can also check in with your posture, your spine, your shoulders. If you've got any cables on your VR headset, put them in a place where they can sit out of the way. Put your feet flat on the ground. Jiggle your legs a little bit so they get really comfortable. Or if you're on the cushion with legs crossed, move forward onto the cushion so that your knees can be down below the hips. Really bringing a strong posture into your spine. Feel your lower back. Let it sit up powerfully. Feel your middle back, your upper back. Roll your shoulders up and back. Let them release. Maybe jiggle them out. Bring your hands back into stillness. Feel your arms settling. Take a deep breath and feel your whole body. Imagine your body could relax completely. You could forget about it, and it would just sit there in this perfect posture. Imagine your spine just balanced so precisely. Feel little minute changes. Take another deep breath and feel your body being at peace. And now I hope you have noticed that just by spending a minute or two having your awareness in your body with that idea of a comfortable posture, you notice that your body feels relaxed and at ease. And carefully moving your attention through the body, mindfully having your awareness in your posture. Could adjust how you feel. The power of our awareness is so wild. If you prompt it with comfortable posture, feeling at ease, You can do that. If you let yourself envisage emotional peace, then you move your awareness into your feelings. You can move yourself into emotional peace. If you imagine your mind feeling calm, the space between each thought, it's bigger. Take some deep breaths and just imagine what it would be like for your consciousness to move deeper into meditation. And just like when we scanned our body, any place that your attention touched, you just let it adjust and be at peace. As you imagine your whole self going into meditation, anywhere your attention touches becomes at ease, going deeper into meditation. And take 3 deeper breaths just to go even deeper before we begin our compassion meditation. Now, setting the intention that we're going to be meditating on care, on kindness, on appreciation. Care can bring us purpose, can bring us ease, can bring us comfort. Care can give us energy. Setting the intention that we're cultivating compassion as a gift to those in our lives and as a gift to ourselves. So, first, I invite you to choose someone where it's easy to care about them. Maybe it's your grandmother, maybe it's a parent, a really close relative, or a really good friend. And we're practicing our attention. So, as we hold our attention on this person, we're just going to keep coming back to the caring, to different aspects of the caring. We're going to let that grow and feel good. We're going to explore it. We're going to expand it. Maybe you can remember how comforting, how caring it feels when you share a hug with that person. Maybe they weren't a hugger. Maybe you can remember how it feels to talk with them, care for them. Maybe you can remember times they cared for you. now, whatever feeling of caring has arisen in you, just notice it. It might be little, it might be big, it might be beautiful, it might be subtle, whatever it is. You just hold this person in your mind and hold that feeling of caring and feel the caring grow with each breath that you take. As you hold this person in mind, maybe you feel the caring grow. You know, you're making yourself more happy whenever you see this person or think of them. Or maybe you're making your friendship better, holding that caring, holding them in mind, so you can be more helpful, so you can ask more open questions, so you can see them more for who they are. Maybe you chose someone who's already passed away. You're just growing the feeling of love to make the memory of that person more beautiful, or to bring yourself greater confidence, comfort. The feeling of caring is more part of yourself. Because you know they would wish for you to feel cared for. So as you hold this person in mind, imagine looking at them. And imagine them really feeling that you care for them. And imagine really feeling that they care for you. And I've seen for many people in the world, perhaps most, that so much caring goes unsaid, or is not said anywhere near as openly, as warmly as the people actually feel it. So as you hold this person in mind, maybe in your mind you'd like to tell them, I really care about you. Oh, I love you. You mean so much to me. Or whatever it is you tell them. Just feeling that caring flowing from you to them. Maybe you express it as a smile, warmth, as kind deeds. But I invite you to also imagine saying it in your kind, caring words as well. Or just take a few more breaths as you let that feeling of caring with this person grow, crescendo. Let Let it shine. Let it be felt brightly and warmly. And imagine whenever you meditate on kindness with this person, this beautiful warmth, this kindness, this caring will get richer, more wonderful, feel more beautiful. Perhaps if you're like me, when I started kindness meditation, perhaps you hadn't had people telling you they cared about you. Maybe feeling that kindness might have been quite hard. So I just invite you to imagine that I feel for you. And I want you to feel cared for. And let's all just take a moment to imagine all the people in the world who might be struggling to feel caring or to feel cared for. And just let your compassion go out to all of them. Let your wish for them to be cared for feel strong, feel powerful. Feel how important kindness, how important it is to let it show, to say it, to help others be kind. And then as you turn your point of attention into the object of compassion, perhaps as we were feeling all those people we want to feel cared, or perhaps the first person you chose, or maybe a mix of both those feelings. Bring your attention to those feelings of compassion, to the ideas of caring, to the concept of supporting one another, appreciating one another, seeing the enlightened being in each other, connecting with the best in each other. And next, I want you to imagine that you were somebody else looking at you. Maybe you're looking in a mirror, or maybe you can imagine being another person looking at you. And give yourself caring. You probably know which ways the different kinds of caring would help you, whether it needs to be sweet, or strong, or wise, or powerful, or gentle. Give yourself caring and give it as perfectly for you as you can imagine. Whatever you need, give yourself that love. Imagine if every person in the world was to do this meditation. Imagine if every person in the world was to do this meditation, to spend some time just feeling care for themselves, to be honest with themselves, to be encouraging with themselves, to feel all the love and support they can possibly imagine. Maybe you're deep in that feeling. Each breath you take, make it more powerful. And next, I invite you to just step back a little and feel whatever kindness, whatever caring you've felt so far. Okay, here's something I can take my attention into anytime I need. Here's something I can grow. Here's something I can make more beautiful. So next, I invite you to bring to mind a good friend. Maybe it's someone you laugh with a lot. Maybe it's someone who helps with meditation. Maybe it's someone who you've had time to really care for them, or they've really cared for you. And as you hold them in your attention, and you hold the compassion that you've cultivated in your attention, just send them that compassion in whatever way seems best, whatever they need, whatever you need. Feeling the laughs, feeling the kindness. Maybe you'll find yourself saying kind words to them. Maybe you'll find yourself understanding them more deeply. Just hold them in your mind, powerfully each breath. Feel your care, your kindness, your positive intention. Feel it growing for them each breath you take. And for the last part of this compassion meditation, you could imagine where this practice would take you. If you were to cultivate kindness and caring for all of your friends, how happy, warm, positive you could feel every day. You could imagine your positive intent whenever you pass somebody, just inspired to give smiles, care, wisdom. You're playing the game of enlightenment any chance you can. Find a little thing you say that could bring something wonderful into people's lives. Perhaps you'd like to imagine everyone in the world spending time each day to grow beautiful compassion. And as you're wrapping up this meditation, maybe you'd like to intend that you'll do more kindness meditation. Maybe you'd like to imagine doing this every day for a month to grow it as beautifully as you can. Maybe you'd like to remember some nice moments from today, or something kind that you've thought to say to somebody. Perhaps you learned more about meditation in general, how your attention moves, how your mind reacts to things, how you can direct your focus, how you can cultivate feelings. Maybe you had some epiphany about yourself and caring and how you relate to yourself and the world. Maybe you had a lot of other stuff going on, but I want you to remember the little moments that caught your attention, the little ideas or little feelings. Just smile at them. Trust that you'll make them grow. So, one thing I really love to do when meditating with others is, in some way, make the meditation collective. So, if you had a nice moment or an interesting thought, something beautiful that you felt, maybe you want to describe something the meditation did for you, let's just share that positivity together. Can I see with a wave? You're feeling really good, pretty good, okay? All of that.
Yeah, I feel pretty good.
Would you add any other words to how you describe how you feel?
Um, I mean, yeah, like I feel good. The kindness, compassion, meditation stuff, I never like did before. I never even thought to do it before. Yeah, it's I don't know.
Well, I'm very happy that it feels good and that it was a new practice for you. Pops, are there any words you could put into describing how you feel? Mike's not working. Is that a happy dance or is that like, I don't know. I'm going to take it as a happy dance.
I don't know.
Okay.
The work is finally getting my focus and my groove,
Mm,
but it's going good so far.
nice. So, as I was saying in the end, maybe your focus wasn't going so deep into the meditation, but I hope there was still some ni- nice ideas or just some moments that felt good. Maybe remembering hugging your grandma or the idea of practicing kindness. I hope everybody had at least some moments that seemed good. Hmm. Would anyone else like to share? Sigma?
I just want to do more.
Wonderful. Um, when I first read about compassion meditation, it was described similar to what we just did. It was more the traditional stages of a good friend, an acquaintance, um, a stranger, and then maybe anyone who's ever hurt you. But you get to the last stage after you got through the first few stages really well. And yeah, I know I mixed that up a lot today. After doing it a lot, I found kind of surfing through different feelings much more powerful. But yeah, so I was introduced to that traditional version. And as I said, it was really hard for me because hadn't had anyone told me they care about me. And I was pretty angry. But I read the description of it and the idea that we could have a world where everyone was caring. And I thought, that's the world I want to be heading for. That's the me that I want to be heading for. And the book described it that you should do this meditation every day for at least a month. That's the practice. You can then come back to it again a year later or a few months later, but try it as this block. So I just did. And it took me a week before the feeling of caring for someone close to me started to feel okay because I'd just been so alone for so long. But then once I glimpsed that, I could then grow it. Maybe you already have people that you really care for. Maybe this first bit of the story doesn't matter. Maybe where I'm coming in now is where you're at. You can feel caring for the people that are close to you. And if you do it each day, that caring feeling becomes more beautiful and more easy. As you're growing, this sweet feeling, and then maybe you remember something they said that bothered you, and then your caring just pours in, and you're just like, oh, I don't want that to bother me anymore. I just want to have love and caring instead. And you find those things just transforming. And as you fill that up with all the people that are close to you, it can just make you feel so much better. And if you also meditate on the communication being really good and easy and open, it can shape things to be so nice. And then as I mentioned briefly, you can expand it out so that you just feel love and joy wherever you go. And doing that every day for a month, I got from this angry, lonely place to the point where I really did feel love for all beings. Oh, love, what does that mean? I really felt positive intention for all beings. I felt happy positivity whenever I thought about anyone. Even the people who'd hurt me so bad, I still still felt that I wished them better, that they would then leave other people better. And a few years later, I was sitting with a monk in a community in Melbourne, and the monk guided a compassion meditation. And, I've done a lot of compassion meditations with a lot of people, a lot of monks. But this time, afterwards, they started to say, hey, try it every day for a month and watch it grow. Like it grows exponentially. I don't think he used those words, but he was just hinting that the more you do it, the more massive it becomes. And because I had done the 1 month thing, I was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then, so cute, this super serious monk, he started saying to the crowd of like 50 people, please, please, please try it. It's so good. It's so good. Please try it. It's so powerful. It's so good. Please try doing it every day for a month. And I just thought that was so beautiful that he was just pouring his heart into the group. Something so simple and easy that can be so transformative, just trying to create that space for them all to be able to actually feel, if that meditation just then felt good or okay, do it every day for a month. And this was a 1 on the scale of blissful caring. And after a month, it's like 1,000,000. So yeah, you getting to feel that regularly is amazing. And I'm glad that I got to see him say that so openly, because I still remember him doing it. And now I'm sharing that same perspective with you. I was lucky that when I read the book, it described it like that. There's so many places I haven't seen them frame it like that. And I hope you also take that framing and you want to do it more, then that you do it more. Share them with this community. Come in, set some time each morning to do it before you start your day. Have a call with each other or with some other meditative friends and guide kindness meditations. It's so beautiful. And not only does it make you feel happier and kinder, but it will also make you more patient and more understanding of others. It will also probably give you a lot more drive and energy. When someone's feeling lonely, doesn't feel great, but when you've got purpose and love just flowing out of you, that just picks you up. It gives you energy. It gives you a reason to do something great. It gives you a reason to reach out to someone. It gives you a reason to call someone who you'd been thinking about that you might not have called them otherwise. It gives you a reason to focus on the things that are really important to you. So yeah, love and compassion, it'll help you in more ways than you know. That doesn't do it enough justice. It's awesome. It's profound. It's inspiring. As I said, imagine if everyone in the world each day meditated on compassion for all beings. Wherever you went, you just knew that everybody had your back, everybody cared for you, everybody wished your enlightenment. And yes, it might take a decade for us to get to everybody. It might take 1,000 years. Depends how seriously we market it and the kinds of films and movies we make. But that's the kind of world I want to see created. And maybe it won't be the whole world, but I hope we feel that here in the temple. I hope we feel that with the circle of friends that you intentionally create. I'd love to hear people's thoughts, reflections, questions. So I've been thinking a lot about the call that we spontaneously had the other day. A bunch of us jumped into the video chat on Discord, and just how inspiring and heartwarming that was for me. It just felt so good to just be discussing Dharma with other people who were into it. And I just want to have a lot more of that. I've got my family, we meditate every day, but having other circles of friends who are also into self development just enriched my soul in a whole nother way. So I hope we can really do that. And I also want to encourage each of you to try and do something similar with your other friends. Maybe they don't want to get together for a meditation, but you can think about like what's the positive stuff that people are into. Maybe they're into writing. Maybe they're into avatar design or 3D world building or computer programming or AI avatar making. Maybe they're into singing or maybe they're into storytelling. Like whatever it is you know your friends are into, how you can connect with them in a way that's positive, in a way that brings the best out of both of you. Spectre?
I mean, like, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I kind of just been like isolating myself, like self isolation. So my feelings towards other people have been kind of like neutral, just because like I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to say I feel like different to them, but like I don't know how to explain.
So you're feeling different to a lot of people because you're having these amazing meditation experiences and they're doing mundane stuff.
I mean, it's not just like it's just kind of like your mind's just like it just feels like I'm like on a different. I don't know. I'm trying to be humble. It's like
Don't be humble. Just tell us how it exactly is for you. I want to be able to relate to who you are.
Yeah, like the way my mind is, it's like I operate under a completely different kind of paradigm from what most people, where I can't really relate to it. And then there's people that I can somewhat relate to, but it's not always there. Like for instance, like maybe like people that like Buddhism, but they're too into like the old suttas. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's just easier to like keep to myself because I have like a good level of inner peace. So keeping to myself is a lot easier than trying to help others. To be honest, I don't even know if I can help them. So, yeah.
Well, you might not be able to give complete and perfect enlightenment to others, but you being kind to someone helps them. You sharing that you've been telling yourself to each day that your meditations are focused and calm and that works for you. And then when you meditate and you love it, every person who hears that,
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
awesome
but
for them
like
to
the thing
hear that.
is if they do it, if I tell them like you should meditate, honestly, sometimes like everybody likes to talk about like the benefits, but I guess I don't know if it's just the type of meditation that I do, but I mean things can get pretty intense pretty quickly,
Yeah.
like extreme, like intense, like there's been times where I felt like I was like in heaven just from nothing, like I felt like I was like on drugs, but like I wasn't on anything. Um,
So, you know, you mentioned you didn't want to be humble, and now you've gone and told us that in
yeah,
meditation you've felt like you're in heaven. I'm glad you did, and I'm glad I encouraged you to say it because it happens to me too. And you might feel like
yeah,
you're different from others, but there are a lot of people who love to meditate who then have profoundly better experiences than what most mundane stuff is like.
yeah.
And
I mean, it's not always pleasant. Sometimes like there's like dark parts of my psyche, I guess my unconscious that I've been dealing with.
mhm.
I don't want to mention, but just like very dark things.
And you might find, like, if we were to
Um,
meditate together more, I might have some pretty good tricks to help you, like, through those bits. And maybe you'll be able to take me into states of heavenly awareness that are different to the ones I've had, and we can enrich each other's experience. Well, anyway, I hope that you will notice those people around you who are, I mean, it sounds like you've just labeled everybody's just on a different path. But I hope you notice the people who are doing stuff that that you would think is amazing, and that you can feel more connection through there. That's one part of how I want to respond. The other part is you're like, oh, I don't know how to relate to people. This is one of the magical things about compassion meditation. You could be totally feeling like that. If you go and do compassion meditation every day, at the end of it, you will be feeling like a bodhisattva. You'll be feeling love and care flowing out to everyone, no matter where someone's at. You'll feel like you've got some connection, some kindness, some laughter. They'll be able to give you some joy, some inspiration, and it just shifts how you relate to everybody. Now, for many years, I was just like, yeah, just do that. Love, love, love. Now I'm a little more cynical, and I do actually want to focus on the people who are dedicated to enlightenment for the world, who want to really master their own consciousness. So, yeah, I do still think we should be flowing love and kindness out to everyone. And then at the same time, really cherishing and focusing on the people who want to take it seriously. So, Spectre, I hope we meditate more and hang out more. I love that you have figured out to condense down the brain programs you want, and you read them often, and that you do amazing meditations. It inspires me, and I hope you'll get more people in your life who think what you're doing is great, and that you can help each other be more awesome.
yeah, I think it's here like it's kind of more easy to be myself, but in real life, it's like if I talk about stuff like that, people just think you're crazy. Also, some people like if they see that you're happy, they will hate that because they're miserable and like they'll want to tear you down.
So,
So yeah, you can get like a lot of hate. It's easier just to I don't know, like in my real life, just like to just try to keep to myself as much as possible. Try to be kind. Um, like when I do say stuff or when I do something, it's like kind and positive.
Yeah, that sounds great.
But I don't tell people like a lot of stuff in real life.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily thinking you should go out and tell everyone, hey, when I meditate, I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
I'm completely different to you people. But I would also suggest if you do compassion meditation a lot, you will find that as you then look at them, you will care about them in different ways. It will have grown, and you will be inspired to share things in a way that they respond better to. And I'm saying this from experience. Yeah, I had a lot of people be like, get away from me, you meditation freak. But I learned how to just keep sharing it in a way that became more and more accessible. And I was hanging out with some pretty rough people. Actually, I intentionally tried to hang out with all kinds of people. And I found different ways of sharing with so many people. But yeah, I guess now I value even more the people who want to really run with it. But and you mentioned it's easier here in the temple. I hope that you visit some of the communities in your area that might be more aligned, or maybe you host some stuff, or maybe you don't have to hang out with them in real life. Maybe you just keep hanging out with people online.
Yeah, I think just like being in these meditative communities, it just like reaffirms me, so I don't feel insane. That's kind of why I show up. Teddy's and like a few others.
Well, I'm happy that we help you feel affirmed. Mindfulness and the superpower of changing your consciousness, I think, is the best thing in the world. Listening definitely felt blissful. Sigma, that's so good. Yeah, I'm glad that you were sharing this time with us.
It was nice, huh? I was gonna say out right afterwards, like James Brown. I feel good.
No, 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 no. I knew that you would now. No, no,
That's
no,
what
no,
I
no,
mean
no.
when you asked about that.
Yeah. I feel nice. No, 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 no. I'm going to say that twice. No, 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 no. I feel nice because nice is good. Compassion for the win. Do, 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 do. Sorry, that was a bit weird, but you guys made me feel so comfortable. I can just be my own weird self. Yeah. Sigma, I'm glad it feels good for you.
That's within this process, obviously.
I mean, I do it for myself as well as for you guys. I encourage you also try and share more intentional positivity with people because you'll find it's really good for yourself. Pops, was that a hand? God, I love this hand tracking. You waving to us or someone IRL?
I was just doing the little wave thing when you were talking about getting comfy.
Ah, nice. Excellent. Yeah. That makes me want to move on to more of today's topic. Would anyone else like to share anything from how the meditation was for you? I'd love to just hear it felt good or a little nice moment you had. All right, well, let's move on into this topic of community, of friendship, of family. I guess we've already kind of been covering it, but I want to frame that that's now what we're going to be talking about. So, Pops, you talked about feeling comfy. Well, I talked about feeling comfy. We both talked about feeling comfy.
Yep.
And I think the people who make you feel comfortable, where you're able to just really express yourself, you're able to explore your thoughts, where they encourage you and you then motivated to do the things you want to do. I think those friendships are invaluable. So I encourage everyone to think about the
Yeah, that's
people.
valid.
Yeah. I encourage everyone to think about the people in your life who help you shine your most, help you be most comfortable. Maybe they don't necessarily make you feel comfortable. Maybe they make you feel driven or excited. The people who like bring you alive, who you feel safe to explore. And if you've got people like that in your life, I hope you decide to appreciate them even more and spend more time with them. People these days don't seem to call as much. I hope you call them. Just hang out with them, spend time with them. And if you don't have people that you feel like that with, I hope that you will imagine making some friends like that, making some friendships like that, trying to be that kind of friend for other people so that you will create those kinds of friendships. And sometimes that means intentionally working on current friendships to see what the other person wants, trying to be more helpful, and also being clear about ideas you have that could enrich your friendship, sharing them, working on it, meditating together, doing positive stuff together intentionally. And sometimes it means being open to making new friends, going to groups where you're more likely to meet people where you have things in common, or maybe just going out to lots of different things, meeting lots and lots of people to see who you form some kind of connection with, casting a really wide net just to see where you stick. And there's 8 billion people in the world, and there's probably 1 million of them that would feel like your best friend. But how are you going to meet those 1 million people out of the 8 billion? I hope for some of you, you feel like this community, and some of us, are really there for you and that we really value each other. And I hope you're also excited that in your life, you'll have more friends that help you shine, help you feel great. And at the same time, I hope you also like the idea that you will be a really important friend to some people. If you're just the kind of person that reminds people to be mindful, or just asks, hey, how can I help? Or if you just listen mindfully how you watch your own mind, caring, bringing clarity. If you just give that to other people, some people have never had that, not from themselves or from other people. You can be this amazing source for goodness for others. Did I do that? Did you guys see any avatars up on the stage? Well, there you go. My subconscious rang a bell that you can be an amazing source of goodness for others. One thing that's really important to think about when it comes to our friendships and to our family is to think about expectations and attachments. Many of us might have an idea, oh, our friendships should be meditating every day, or my family should all be patient and loving and accepting, or my friends need to be blah, 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 certain thing. But you know, every person's different. Every relationship's different. And so learning to see and appreciate whatever good qualities are there and learning to see the expectations you have, label them as expectations and let them go so that you're more emotionally available and present with what's actually going on. That's going to enrich all your connections. Now, I want to be careful. There are some expectations. For me, it's that people are honest with me. The people listen to and consider each other and actually engage with each other. If someone's not doing that, then they're not my friend. I will still wish them well. So having your own standards, I think, is great. But if the idea I was just talking about is if you've chosen that someone is in your friendship circle, then when you are like upset because things aren't going how you want them to go, label that as an expectation and try and step into the actual world. Try and see that person as they are right now. Look at them. Try and look behind the eyes and the flesh and see inside them. Like, oh, what's that person thinking about right now? What are they feeling right now? And try to actually connect with the people around you. Get out of your own head. Get out of your story of like what your relationship should be like and focus on actually relating with the people. Welcome, Zai. We've just been talking about friendship, family, compassion, caring. I'd love to hear if anyone has any thoughts, comments, questions. When I mentioned that sometimes when we expect people to treat us, or when we expect our friendship or our family to be a certain way, that can like cause upset or get in the way of actually relating to people. Some of you relate to that. Anyone?
Wait, what did you ask?
That. Thanks for asking me to clarify. I know I was just saying that we can have expectations. You know, my family should all love me all the time unconditionally. and they're not good enough, so I'm upset. Or, hey, I want my friends to all be super meditators, or they're just a waste of my time. Or, I want my friends to be kind all the time. And that joke they made the other day was mean, and now I'm unhappy. Like, do any of you ever notice when your expectations, you can kind of get fixated on that expectation and then be more unhappy with the relationship rather than just being present with the people? Shreximus, would you like to share your thoughts, whatever you're thinking about right now? It's okay if you feel like sharing. I'd love to hear what's going on for you. All right, well, everybody seems pretty chill, and I'm trying to have a conversation. Maybe we should just go into a meditation. So let's do that. I invite everyone to sit back and get comfortable. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to yourself. And to set your intention on kindness to yourself. May you be free from suffering completely. May you just let it go. Anything that makes me suffer, just let go of however I was thinking about it or whatever I was attached to. May I just be free from suffering. And as you keep holding your attention on yourself, keep caring for yourself, may I be mindful. May I watch carefully what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm believing. And as you hold yourself in your intent, in your attention, and hold that intent for loving kindness, you know what kind of feelings or thoughts will help you. Hold yourself in your attention. Give yourself encouragement, give yourself love. Feel positive intentions, feel transformations. If something big or hard comes up, just forget about that for a little bit. Focus on a bunch of other stuff. Just give yourself lots of easy love, easy kindness. Maybe it's just giving yourself more happiness, just smiling more, maybe it's dancing more. Maybe it's giving yourself kindness meditation every day. Maybe it's giving yourself peace many times each day. If some big thing comes to mind, I invite you to give yourself love, care, transformation. But imagine how big or powerful that transformation would have to be for this change to feel easy, to be carried away by the awesomeness inside you, the unshakable strength, the infinite peace. Bring your own awesomeness. Bring all the love you could ever imagine. Bring it to yourself. Give it to yourself in whatever way you need. Oh, but, if some buts come up to your mind, just let them go. Imagine if you could just let go any old thoughts, belief systems, feelings. You're stepping into peace, power, mindful love, giving yourself everything will be most helpful to you. And if you'd like to, you can shift your attention onto the kind of friend or family member you'd like to be. Maybe you need to be really clear about who you want to spend your time or who will be valuable for you to spend your time on. Or just letting yourself imagine if you could really choose what kind of friend, what kind of family member would you choose to be? What comes to my mind now is that I'm an ocean of love and comfort and care and support. Now let yourself meditate on whether it's good friends, other friends, or acquaintances. What would you like to feel like when someone talks to you? Do you want them to feel joy? Do you want them to feel cared for? Do you want them to feel curious, inspired? Just meditate on the feeling that you want to emanate out. Maybe you could think of some specific people, maybe some people in your family or some friends, and just feel how you'd like to show up for them, the feelings you'd like to project to them, how you'd like your words to feel, the ideas you'd like to share. Sometimes you won't always know how. Just let yourself feel it. Hold that idea. If you want to be inspiring, just hold that idea. The details will come through. If you want to be comforting and loving, just hold that intention, hold that feeling. Maybe very specifically you'll think of conversations you want to have, or maybe not. Just really creating how you shine to the world, how you choose, how you cultivate to feel for others. And as we begin to move from this meditation, maybe you want to remember some key moments. Maybe you want to magnify some of the most beautiful feelings. Maybe you want to set the intention to meditate on compassion every day for all of September. then we'll move into the sharing phase. So I think I noticed when I was imagining myself as much more loving and comforting and wonderful to everyone, I think I noticed my voice change. Lots of things I could share, but that's just one I'm going to share. Is there something that you'd like to share? I would love to hear your feedback on the meditation we just did. Mm.
Anything I can say, I was AFK for a lot of that, but one thought that come to me was like, I start to argue with myself about whether I'm supposed to be like choosing my thoughts or whether the thoughts are supposed to come like in an actual order. It just started some weird conversation inside my mind at the time.
Where did that conversation lead you?
I didn't dwell on it too long. I was really distracted as well. I was AFK and I had to do some stuff. I really focus on my full meditation. That's why I didn't really speak up quickly and say how I felt too, because I didn't get a lot of it. Sorry.
So in regards to that question of choosing our thoughts or letting them happen naturally, I think there are some thoughts that I would definitely say it's good to choose, like to practice being calm or being happy, or to practice kindness. There are also thoughts that come naturally. A lot of people have picked up not nice habits, like, oh, I'm really bad at playing tennis, or whatever it is. People have things they think about themselves that aren't helpful. So noticing the bad habits you've picked up, emotional or mental habits, and choosing to change them or let go of them, I think is definitely important. And as for the moment to moment thoughts, when we practice a lot of breathing meditation, a lot of mindfulness, your awareness starts to be present so much more of the time. So then the random thoughts that are happening, you have these interactions between your awareness and then the thoughts that arise. And the more you grow your awareness, the more you just naturally get to the point where you're choosing what to put your attention on and you're choosing what to think. And that process in between your thoughts just doing anything and that complete awareness and consciousness. What you do when you notice different thoughts arising, well, I guess that's up to you. For me, I try to intentionally cultivate the thoughts and the feelings that will help me, and definitely notice what kinds of thoughts or feelings I want to let go of. Like, hey, goodbye to that one. And then all the ones in between, or how we navigate that. That's
Can you turn off all your training and just let life come at you as it does, and just see how you feel about it at the time? And just there's two modes. You could choose to go out two modes for your day. Do you want to be more conscious of the experiences I connect to, or just let it happen?
That's a really great question, and I have definitely experimented with that, and I can tell you the unconscious ways, it's not good compared to the conscious way.
Yeah, it's like two ends of the spectrum. Right? It's like we do this to avoid that. We do this to get away from that and not be subject to the negative elements of that. Like, if you leave your thoughts unchecked, you can go down the bad path mentally. But if you practice mindfulness and meditation, obviously you can choose your experience more skillfully.
Yeah, I was listening to a meditation teacher this week who said he believed, like many meditation people do, that our innate self is ease and goodness and caring and kindness, and it's only stuff that the unmindful world has imposed on us, which would be that bad path. And so that meditation's actually getting back to our real self, stepping out of all the other stuff. I don't know if I believe that. I think I'm a little more like our brains just do whatever. But then again, so many people find if they actually get into stillness, it's just care, peace, and happiness is what is there. So yeah, maybe I do believe that our real self is just the peace and ease, and it's our job to just get out of the other stuff that life has thrown at us.
Yeah, life's pretty chaotic. And things that it hits you with, it's hard to know how to feel about it in the right way. So if you develop your mindfulness, you can better react to things or not react to them. In fact, actually, the chaotic forces generally guide unthinking people. They're generally victims of causality.
Yeah, there's definitely be some things where you don't even need to respond. And when we're mindful and not reacting, then the things we do need to respond to, we get to choose the response that will be wise, skillful, easeful. You get to try and find the best response that you can. I like that you posed that question between the training self and just turning it off, just whatever. It makes me reflect which parts of me am I being fully mindful, and if there's any parts that I'm not. And there certainly is some parts that I'm not. And yeah, I love that you posed that question. It just feels really powerful. Like, to me, it's so obvious that I want to be coming from my training for every part of me. It's pretty motivating, actually. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
There you go, Spectre. You wouldn't have had that if you were just sitting meditating by yourself.
Yeah.
Imagine if every single part of you was coming from your mindful, enlightened self. Before we wrap up, we did a kindness meditation. We were talking about friendship, family, our community circles, the friendships we cultivate. We did 2 compassion meditations, both with a different style, a different focus. I'd love to hear any thoughts, any reflections, anything you want to take away from today, anything you found interesting. If you're thinking about something, please share it now. Are you guys here or are you away from the keyboard?
I'm here. I'm here.
Shreximus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I
Sorry,
just
I'm not saying much. It's
can't really think of any.
bringing up a lot of emotion.
Well, I want these sessions to be here for you, so I'd love to hear it. Let's bring the collective mindfulness of the whole team here for you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's I just find it very, very difficult to put the events in daily life aside, and it really, it comes into the meditation, and then you try to just come back to the object, or come back to the loving kindness, or coming back to the whatever it is. And I don't know. It's been especially difficult lately. So
That's a great question. I'm so glad I asked
it's all
you.
life situation stuff that I don't think anyone can really, nothing anyone can do.
Well, there's one thing I definitely. Ooh, getting some feedback. One thing I definitely want to say about that. So, in case anyone missed it, like if stuff from life is just coming up during meditation, you're trying to meditate, and then there's some big issues from what's been going on. It's just coming into your mind. Sheshimus, that kind of sums up what you said. Or did I miss any important part of it? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say that last part again.
So we're trying to meditate, and then stuff from your life just keeps coming to mind. It's taking you off where the meditation is. Yeah. So one very strong response I want to say to that is that when we practice single pointed breathing meditation, when we practice that, we're learning how to let go of things, and we learn how to be immersed in the meditation. And today we're doing kindness meditation. We're not doing single pointed focus. So when you have practiced single pointed meditation, that skill then helps with all the other meditations. It helps you be able to focus on relaxing, helps you be able to focus on compassion, helps you be able to imagine characters when you're doing story writing. So single pointed concentration meditation, just the breathing, watching each moment of your consciousness, doing that every day for a little more than what you would otherwise do. Just do a bit more than you would have done. You'll get better and better at stepping into that stillness when you choose to. And you'll also get better.
Yeah, I was saying it's true as well as for the passion. When I say object, I mean whatever the object is,
Yeah.
whether it's single pointed on the nose or if it's on the compassion. So I try to focus on the compassion and just keep that habit, very highly emotionally charged. What I feel about this, what about this decision, I haven't figured out this thing yet.
Well, the reason I mentioned single pointed breathing is because when you're doing single pointed breathing, the only thing you have to focus on is just letting go of all that other stuff. Whatever comes up, I'm just going to breathe. That's all you're doing. It's just breathing. In compassion meditation, yeah, other stuff's coming up. Maybe I could have done more of a thing to get us into meditation. Maybe we could have done more of a body scan. Maybe I could have done more suggestions that your mind's becoming still and everything else is disappearing and letting go. And that it works. Not every time, but often people find that miraculously you can go deeper into meditation when we were guided deeper into a meditation. So I'm sorry I didn't do more of that at the start.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
It would have happened either way. It's just, lots of. It's frustrating when there's. I almost feel like there's just. It's just there's life events after life events, but really, and I'm just not good at putting it aside and saying, no, this hour for this kind of time, it just gets
Well, you said it would have happened either way, but you've definitely had some time in your life where stuff was happening and you just found yourself in meditation, right? Like when you went to meditate, you actually went deep in and stuff disappeared for a while.
I really only when life is kind of things are figured out. I don't have any really big things going on, problems to think about. When I do have something going on, which with most people is most of the time, and definitely most of the time for me, it's just wildly more difficult. I think, and really progressive to just oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just lost in the miasma of the story of life, and I cognitively understand there's nothing to cling to there when it's not giving satisfaction. Found the just that habit mode, I guess.
So I definitely I want to share some hypnosis meditation with you. Sometime when there's lots going on, I want to do a really vivid, captivating body scan to show you that you can actually have mental peace even when all that stuff's happening. Let's do that. We've got to do that. We've got to get you to believe that, to know that. And I hope, even though all that other stuff was coming to mind today, I hope that there were some ideas or some feeling, some vibe you picked up from here being here, or some moments of meditation that you appreciate or that you will find helpful. And thanks for sharing that what it was like for you today.
I'll drifting away.
Shrek, are you Rarity from Discord?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. I was like, your voice sounds familiar. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I've been dealing different usernames for everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've wondered if having different names or like avatar personas maybe changes how much we stick together as a community. I've been thinking perhaps we should have more video calls so we actually see real people. So like we've been sitting together for 2 hours and didn't even realize we'd been hanging out during the week because we've got different usernames. So, yeah. So yeah, I would love it sometime in the next few days. Let's have another one of those calls and let's do a guided deep meditation. Intensely vibrant body scan, and then when we're in there, we'll have some time of peace or kindness or single pointed attention or something.
What helps me for that is I'll just have the intention that like whatever issues that are there, like for this amount of time, I just won't worry. Like I'll worry about it after it's over. That's kind of what helped me out.
So Shreximus, do you say something like that to yourself before the meditation starts?
I usually don't. I don't really say or do much of anything before meditation starts. I usually just kind of go right into it and cry.
So yeah, I really think priming your brain with what's going to happen is essential. If you just go in and just go with whatever's happening, then you get the results you've been getting. Whereas if you decide, hey, for this time, whatever comes up, you can let it all go till later. And you say that to yourself a few times, you've got your brain ready to do that. Brain programming, just like script writing. Inspector, didn't you say that's what you do?
So like the stuff that I repeat to myself, I have like 2 documents. One of them is like for Buddhism. The other one is like for meditation. But yeah, I mean, I repeat it like every day. So
Yeah. And it gets,
eventually it just becomes like more habitual.
the more you repeat it, the more habitual or automatic it becomes.
I mean,
it's a big part of you.
Repeating it like by the words isn't as important as like kind of following the instructions in my head.
Yeah.
Like the way I meditate is really simple. I mean, I just focus on the fine details of my breath. And when I notice I become distracted, positive reinforcement, return attention gently, and then it's just this cycle. But then I also have introspective awareness, which means I'm aware of the state and activities of my mind. Like continuously. So yeah, like when I'm at work, I'll train myself with that and try to see what objects are in my peripheral vision. But it's that introspective awareness and then the positive reinforcement that kind of put it together, and I'm able to sustain attention. It's really simple. Like jhana just means concentration on an object, but it's difficult to do when you're starting out. Yeah, I mean, just don't expect like quick results. It takes time. Like you're literally rewiring your brain, so the neurons need time to grow. As long as you're like making the effort, you're making progress. And like when you detect your distraction, return to what you're focusing on. But be happy when you notice the distraction, so that your brain like gets a hit of dopamine for that action. Does that make sense?
Not sure.
Spectre, you kind of covered about 5 topics. It was all great, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've set intentions before sometimes, and I have noticed a huge difference between when I do and I don't. But I feel like that's something where I need to do it every single time for a while before I can really say much
Also,
on the topic. But
Spectre was saying it's not just saying the intention. He like thinks about it. And so for me, like feeling what it's going to be like to let go of everything and conceptualizing what it's like to let go of everything and deciding what it's like to let go of everything. It wasn't until I started coming here did I start even using the word setting intention. Before that, I'd call it brain programming and I'd rehearse it with my words and my emotions and my concepts. And like you were just saying, do it often, like many times a day, just to make that new way of being really strong.
I think for me too is the goal of my meditation is complete absorption. So I call it like no self, where you're so engrossed and immersed in the concentration object that your sense of self disappears. And if there are thoughts, it's very wispy, but it's like this full immersion, and then your body starts like it feels like it's glowing. And as long as you can sustain that no self, kind of like having awareness and attention without self and just complete immersion. You have to have an experience to know. I don't know if you know what I mean.
I do.
I mean, so some of the language um, like generating, like I don't know how you said it, but something like what would it feel like if you were able to do that? I'm not sure quite how that's done because I can set an intention